Welcome to Click for IB Biology. We're in the section of the syllabus associated with environmental stability and change, and we're looking at the impact of plastics in the environment on environmental change caused by plastic pollution. There's a blank version of this presentation down in the description. You can download that, annotate with your own notes, and then when you've done, you can take the 10 questions, check out the answers, and in that way, check your own progress. So, of course, plastics are polymers of hydrocarbons and derived from crude oil. They tend to form very useful products because of their durability, flexibility, and because they can be shaped and molded into a wide variety of very usable items for all sorts of industrial and domestic purposes. The problem with these substances, these plastics, is that they are highly resistant to natural decomposition. Macroplastics refers to those plastics such as bottles, cans, and so forth that we can see in this image here. Plastic bags as an example. They are subject to, however, to abrasion as they come into contact with each other and into contact with the habitat surfaces such as rocks, through the motion of the oceans and water bodies. They are gradually ground down but not decomposed, and those ground down particles are what we refer to as microplastics. So just to draw attention to the difference between microplastics and macroplastics, in principle, micros are less than 5 millimeters in size and diameter, whereas the macros are larger. The microplastics form very, very small beads, and these small beads are understood to be easily ingested by organisms in the environment, and in that way they can actually enter the food chain. The consequences of microplastics within the body structure of organisms are only now starting to emerge, but these are not positive outcomes. Microplastics, on the other hand, are the larger containers such as bottles and bags, and you may well have seen the impact of these in images of whales caught in fishing nets, which are composed of plastics, or of turtles consuming plastic bags, mistaking them for jellyfish, and these lead to a disruption of the digestive system of these animals and lead to drownings of whales and to the death of these turtles. The larger plastics also tend to float on the surface of the water, and as a consequence of the ocean's currents, accumulate in large clusters around the world's oceans that we'll look at in just a moment. So microplastics less than 5 millimeters, macroplastics larger than 5 millimeters. Because of the natural flow of the world's oceans, these floating plastics persist in the natural environment because they are non-biodegradable. And this is illustrating here, of course, the coast of coast of America here, the western coast of America, California here, and over here we have Asia. This is the Pacific Ocean, and the circulation of the currents in the Pacific Ocean means that rubbish plastics coming from the Americas and from Asia are circulated out here until they're caught in these tidal flows of eddies out in the Pacific, and they accumulate in these large, what are called Great Pacific Garbage Patches, which are or gyra is the other name for them, which are eddies circulating bodies of water in which the plastics are concentrated into these floating garbage patches which cover huge areas. Apparently one of them was measured at twice the land area of the state of Texas. The existence of these gyra and these large patches is now the subject of much research and indeed mechanisms by which they might be removed from their locations. The impact on the ecosystems are long-term because of the long-term persistence of these plastics within their locations. The next video, looking at changes and stability in the ecosystem, is appearing in the link here. There's a chance to subscribe to the channel. That would be appreciated. And here's our playlist of all the videos in this section of the ecology course.